It's time for another Wildcat All In. I'm Paul Grua, and joined today by Summer Willis, the head coach of the Weber State Spirit Squad, who has brought Weber State some unprecedented recognition and multiple national titles. Summer, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's great to talk to you. You have just completed 26 years here at Weber State. Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is hard to believe, actually.
And you were probably like in your early, like 5 years old when you started, you must have been, huh? Yeah.
Not 5 years old, but recent graduate out of college, first job that summer, that fall actually, right after I graduated from Utah State. So
yeah, hard to believe, huh? You have done a variety of things. You did a lot of marketing and promotions early in your years here too, but for a long time you've been involved with the Spirit Squad. And I don't know we may not have time to list all the multiple championships that you've won, but just recently, Weber State's large co-ed team won its 8th straight national title. They've won 4 of the last 5 grand national titles as well. The small eds co-eds won back-to-back national titles. And in addition to that, the dance team has won multiple national titles, including a couple of grand titles the last few years.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive if you stop to think about it.
It is. It's almost unreal. It's kind of surreal. I still can't even believe it as people are talking about it this last week, and it does seem like a dream. But it is real, and it has been a lot of work and a lot of time that's gone into it. But it is definitely something to celebrate.
Well, how have you built that up? It really is a national powerhouse.
Yeah.
How have you turned Weber State into that?
Lots of hard work and dedication, and a legacy of it's always the people that have gone on. There was a group, that we had this dream and we worked relentlessly towards it, and I think it's the legacy and the kids today that are trying to keep that legacy going, and everybody just with a common goal and a dream and making it happen.
There's a lot of different routines and different formats of cheerleading and so forth, but you've really turned this into competitive cheer and to stunt teams and so forth. And your recognition is unprecedented. Like I said, we've got how many, 55,000 plus followers, right, on Instagram, let alone everything else. When you go to these championships in Daytona, and there's schools from all over, of all different levels, right? I can't imagine what that's like. The last few years, we talked about this before, that you kind of had that expectation, you kind of expected to do well and to win. What's that mentality like?
Yeah, it's definitely different from where we started. We started at this underdog. People didn't know how to pronounce our name. Weber State, right. Going out there and being a very small school. And we first competed, when we took the national stage in 2008. No one knew who we were. There had been a team that had been winning Stephen F. Austin in that division for multiple years, that had been doing it longer than we had. So yeah, we were definitely someone that nobody knew, and now it is so interesting to go out and hear people talking about Weber State cheer throughout the nation, throughout the world. We have 11 international kids, so we're on such a different stage now, and so yes, the pressure does go up. Pressure is a privilege, but it definitely every year goes out what we're going to do to one up what we did last year. It's honestly just been us against us. We try and go out there and set the bar high and do what we continue to do, and mostly we just want to represent each other well and our program well, but it's always kind of been something from within that we've always wanted to do, is just set a standard and keep that tradition alive.
When did you know that you think that this could turn into something special? You mentioned you started from scratch, basically, right?
Yeah, we definitely started from scratch. We had a dream, a vision, being here in the Ogden Valley. We wanted what was going to set us apart from the other schools in cheer. So no one was really competing, so we knew that we kind of wanted to do something different, and that was going to be to compete. So we started out west and competed, built a program up, and started building that and stayed out west. And then finally, when we felt like we were ready in 2008, we went out to the national championship, and we're lucky enough to win our first championship in 2009. So that was probably when I first knew it was possible, because a lot of people said it wasn't possible, and then when we actually went out and got that first championship in 2009, it just set the tone that you could do whatever you want.
Yeah. And now the way they do it now is you have your different divisions, and then at the end you go to the Grand, which is now competing against the best teams in each division of all. You have big schools, small schools, and everybody there, and you still go out and you win that as well.
Yeah, so it's been they used to do the Grand Championship based on your score. So anybody's score was the highest, no matter what division you're in. It's based on your we're in divisions based on our football ranking. So FCS, you'll see other schools that we compete against in that category. But the last 3 years, they have they've added a whole day of competition. So a third day, it's a winner's circle. Everybody from all the divisions comes together and competes another extra day, which is very hard to do consistency-wise. Going out there, you've already done prelims, you've already competed for a national championship, and then you're going another day. So staying very consistent is key. So then you face these teams. So you're facing the UNAA winner or somebody from from all the schools from different powerhouses, and still going out there and trying to defend. And so we've been very fortunate enough to win Grand Champion 3 years in a row for our large co-ed, and back-to-back for our small co-ed the last 2 years.
I've never been there, but I can't imagine what it's like with all, like you said, thousands of schools there sometimes. Varsity has done behind the scenes the last few years with your team, and to see those is amazing. And you just see the expectations that are there, and how hard it's really remarkable. And how have you done this? You come up with a new routine every year. How do you keep adding to this?
Yeah, it's been, like I said, it's the people that are in it, it's the program, it's the athletes. They're wanting to set a standard, they're willing to work for it. I feel like we talked about the Weber way, and just really trying to set a standard. They're willing to try a lot of different ideas that I throw at them, and doing some things that are creative and maybe not the things that everyone else is doing. And so taking that risk is something that we've tried to do within reason, but we've tried to take that risk.
Well, we mentioned the following that you have, and you have tryouts again coming up here soon. But when you're going out and when you get people from all over the world, as you mentioned, how do you sell them on Weber State? What is it that they, what are their expectations coming in? And obviously you're getting some of the best in the world at this.
Yeah, I think they see us, like you mentioned, we've kind of built this name for ourselves, and they get to see what we do, and I think they want to come and they want to experience it. They want to see what it's about. They want to come out here and be surrounded by the best of the best, and we have such a great environment for that. Instead of being like competitive, everybody wants the best. Like everybody's pushing each other to level up, and it's a really great environment to be a part of. Plus they get to come out to the mountains and check out this beautiful, someplace completely different. Everyone gets here, and that's usually the first thing that they talk about is coming out here and seeing the mountains, and they come here to cheer.
Yeah, for sure.
And go to school.
You grew up in the area, obviously, and you, as we mentioned, you were a cheerleader in college at a school up north. But did you always want to do this growing up? Is it something you always wanted to do?
I fell in love with college athletics in college. When I was cheering, I loved the environment. I loved everything about it. So I did really want to be a part of it someday. I thought maybe I would end up at the Jazz. I would get my time and get my experience here at Weber State University, and then move on, and then here we are 26 years later, where I fell in love with this place and with the people. And once you start kind of building something and have a vision, and it becomes a part of you, and that's been that way. I have a strong heritage here that led me to Weber State for my first job. So it was kind of meant to be. It was meant to be.
We'll get to that in just a second. I was thinking that I don't think a lot of people understand how much your athletes do, the cheer and dance. Obviously, they come to games, and they see them at games, and they see them perform, and you go to nationals, but there are numerous service opportunities, community events, all kinds of things, right, that you guys do all year that sometimes don't get noticed.
Yeah, we're definitely doing stuff all year long. They don't compete until the spring, but we are doing things all year long. Going to, like you mentioned, the sporting events, but there's like a lot of behind the scene things that you don't see them doing. A lot of community, a lot of service projects and different things, you know, to make it part of the experience and to represent Weber State here in Ogden. And yeah, they're doing it all.
A great representation of the university and the area for sure. Your family, obviously, it says, as you mentioned, it's a family event too. Your husband's been part of this for a long time too, and you have 3 kids as well.
Yeah, it's a family affair. They've been to all the games. They know.
Yeah.
They are definitely a huge part.
Well, and as you mentioned, your family has a long history that I don't think a lot of people may know, that we are the Wildcats partly because of your family, or largely because of it, right?
Yeah, that we are how the Wildcats got their name. My grandpa, Wallace Wildcat Morris, is how they. He was a fierce left tackle back in the 30s, and they were called the Weberites at the time.
The Weberites,
yeah, the Weberites, and he was a mean left tackle, and the press started picking up and calling him Wally the Wildcat, and it caught on, and he's how the Wildcats got their name. He's inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was another big event that I heard this story all growing up, and then he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is a Wildcat Club athletics event, right in his late 90s. And to see that come full circle and the pride that he had, and just hearing that as a kid, it was like a huge thing for me. I was in my college years, and like I said, I fell in love with college athletics, but just watching him achieve greatness and watching something that like we had heard about come to light and him be recognized and honored and put into the Hall of Fame was something that I remember.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's your grandfather.
Yes.
Grandpa Wallace. So if you go to the Event Center, you can see his plaque up there.
Yep.
Wallace Wildcat Morris.
An All-American football player.
And that's
fierce,
how
mean,
Weber State are the Wildcats
and
because of that.
That is where we come
I think
from.
that is meant to be then, isn't it? That you're here leading the cheers of the Wildcats.
Yeah, later
right?
on, my parents both attended Weber State University. This is where they met. My dad was doing sports here, and my mom was a cheerleader. So she cheered here.
You definitely bleed purple, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
you can find some archived pictures of
We'll
her
see what we can find.
and the family, but we definitely have strong roots here at Weber State. And
as I mentioned,
why
you've
I
been
came
part
home.
of numerous events. You did marketing. You've been to some of the great Wildcat events over the last 26 years. All kinds of
yeah,
things,
we
for
talk
sure.
about it all the time. My first year was when we beat North Carolina in the round of the
on your
first
birthday,
round. On my
nonetheless.
birthday, on March
Yes,
11th.
yes.
And that after that, I mean, that was year one.
Yeah,
I mean,
This is how it's supposed to be.
this is how
every
it's supposed to
year.
be. We're going to go out there and we're going to try, like, we're going to do the things that people say we can't do, and we're going to triumph. And just that energy and that excitement, that's like what drove my like ambition, I guess, early on, was to create and do something like that on my own. I fell in love, like I said, you said, I graduated in marketing, did communications, and love that side of things, but I really did fall in love with coaching. I really do love working with the athletes and seeing that like you're a very important part and a pivotal part in their lives and can make a huge difference. So, I mean, I think that's what it's been, all of them. It's all of the people. Wouldn't say it's so much the championships and the rings, but it's all of the stories that I could tell, and it's all the people that I think are the most important wins that we've had.
Well, we can call you Wildcat Willis, maybe.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think what you have built here is incredible. Weber State, congratulations on multiple titles, cheer and dance again this last year, and we can't wait to see it again. And thank you for joining us and for all you do at Weber State.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.